Four-time first-team All-Pro defensive tackle Cameron Hayward hasn't participated in team drills at practice for the Pittsburgh Steelers this summer. That's because Hayward is seeking a new contract after arguably the best campaign of his career at 35 years old. Hayward addressed his contract situation in front of reporters Monday. "I'm looking for my contract to be addressed," Hayward said, via the Pittsburgh Tribune Review's Chris Adamaski. "When I look around at my position, I'm like 22nd as a D tackle, I'm 36th as a D lineman. I know what I bring to this team and what I'm capable of on and off the field. It's hard for me, after the year that I had, to really justify playing at the number I'm playing at," Hayward added. "I understand I signed a contract last year. But to be completely honest with you, when I signed that, I told them, when I have an all-pro year, expect me to come back. I think everybody kind of giggled a little bit, but in my head I used it as motivation to go out there and prove it." Hayward also explained that the Steelers asked him to take a pay cut before the 2024 season. That was part of the contract extension the defensive tackle signed last season. While the deal included a pay decrease, Hayward also received 2 additional years through his aged 37 season. Steelers' Cameron Hayward made first contract request in February. Hayward's issue with his contract didn't become public knowledge until August 7th. But the defensive tackle told the media Monday that he approached the Steelers about a new deal in February. In summary, the defensive tackle said he's looking to be valued with a new deal. Hayward possesses an average annual salary of $14.5 million on the extension he signed last year. According to SpotRack, that's tied for 35th among all defensive linemen. The potential future Hall of Fame defensive lineman badly outplayed that contract amount. Hayward posted 71 combined tackles, including 12 tackles for loss, 20 quarterback hits, 8 sacks, and 11 pass defenses in 17 games. Behind those statistics, he made first-team All-Pro for the first time in 3 years. Could Hayward miss regular season games while aiming for new contract? Steelers defensive coordinator Teryl Austin downplayed the idea that Hayward has been a distraction for the team in camp. To reporters Monday, Austin called the defensive tackle a leader and emphasized that he's been in every meeting. The question, though, is will Hayward be on the field when the season begins? The defensive tackle didn't rule out the possibility that he won't. The Trible's Joe Rutter reported Monday that Hayward said he is prepared to sit out regular season games if he doesn't get the contract value he wants. A few analysts at Steelers Depot have argued the easiest way for the Steelers to give Hayward a pay increase is to bump part of his $12.95 million non-guaranteed roster bonus for 2026 to 2025. That would give him more cash for the 2025 season. While Hayward's average contract value is $14.5 million, he's not set to earn that amount in 2025. At the risk of Cam probably taking offense to this, perhaps the easiest way for the Steelers to satisfy him right now would be for them to fully guarantee his 2026 March roster bonus of $12.95 million and his $1.3 million base salary. That at least guarantees him the security beyond 2025, and the fact Hayward has 2 years remaining on his contract complicates matters. If he was set to be a free agent next spring, then the Steelers would likely be motivated to provide the 4-time first-team All-Pro a raise and extension. But the Steelers don't typically renegotiate contracts when there's 2 years remaining on the deal. That's customary for most teams around the league. The Pittsburgh Steelers just wrapped up their first preseason game against the Jaguars, and while there are still a lot of things that need to be sorted out before the regular season, some roster battles are already finished. This first game was a huge aid in cementing some early roster spots. We have seen some surprise names jump up the depth chart. DeMarvin Leal has shown a lot of growth, while undrafted rookie Max Hurlman has been a Swiss Army knife on offense. While they are competing for a roster spot still, they haven't officially locked up a spot yet. These 3 players, on the other hand, have. We went into training camp not knowing for sure if any of these 3 would stick. One was a rookie, and while fans assumed he would make it, there was no guarantee. The other 2 both had roster experience, but faced stiff competition. Now, after only 1 preseason game, it seems like we can safely add these players' names to the expected final roster. Pittsburgh Steelers' new roster locks after the first preseason game. James Pierre, CB. the name that I am least confident in on this list, but it seems hard to deny him at this point. While James Pierre's hopes of being an every-down starter should be dashed at this point, he is a proven commodity on special teams and can come in as an injury replacement in a pinch. He didn't do much of anything in the Jaguars game, but his limitations are something the team is already well aware of. He has made some notable plays in camp and looks like a savvy veteran. Don't get me wrong, he is making this team for his special teams ability, which is valuable, but even his defensive play looks better than in years past. That leaves potentially one spot left for Corey Trice or Beanie Bishop to fight over. Mark Robinson, LB. The Steelers have one of the deeper linebacker rooms in the NFL, and it only got more competitive when the team drafted Carson Bruner. He profiles as the perfect fifth linebacker for a team with great special teams ability. This seemed like a blow to Mark Robinson. However, it seems like Robinson won't go down swinging. He has been on fire at camp and is flashing his versatility with some offensive snaps. Even if that doesn't materialize further, it seems like Robinson has staked his claim as a depth player on this roster. Yahya Black, DL. A fifth-round pick is far from a roster lock, and Yahya Black entered a deep defensive line room this offseason. Worse yet, the Steelers were playing him out of his seemingly more natural position of nose tackle. That said, he has risen to the occasion. He quickly worked his way up the depth chart and could now be viewed as one of the top backup defensive linemen. He still needs work, but it seems like Black is a safe roster bet. The question should now be how high up he can go on the depth chart. The Pittsburgh Steelers haven't won a playoff game since the 2016 season under head coach Mike Tomlin. Despite the fact that Tomlin has incredibly never had a losing season in his 18 years at the helm, he knows the pressure is on him to get this team back to winning meaningful playoff games. The drought has weighed heavily on fans, who are eager for postseason success after nearly a decade without it. Steelers Ryan Clark and head coach Mike Tomlin coaching up the team during the offseason. Tomlin hasn't had much playoff success in almost 10 years, yet he typically receives praise from the national media for his steady leadership and consistent regular season performance. This disconnect frustrates many Steelers fans who feel Tomlin has underachieved in big moments. Still, they have no choice but to keep backing him as long as he remains the head coach of their favorite team, hoping the next season will be different. With a series of aggressive moves made during the 2025 offseason, the pressure is now squarely on Tomlin to lead the Steelers on a deep playoff run. Recently, Tomlin joined former player Ryan Clark on the Pivot podcast, where he was asked how he responds to fans who bring up the playoff drought. His answer reflected both the burden and motivation he feels to return Pittsburgh to its winning ways in the postseason. "I say nothing, laughs, you know." Tomlin told Ryan Clark about his response to those who doubt him because of his lack of playoff success. "We got resumes, we all do, and we gotta stand on that. I live a life where I don't seek comfort. I don't make excuses. Engaging in that discussion to me is excuses. I do not live that life, man. I pour everything I got into what I do, man, and when the dust settles, it settles, and I keep it moving." It's a perfect response from Tomlin, but it probably won't inspire much faith among Steelers fans. No one is arguing that Tomlin isn't a tremendous leader. Everyone knows he is. The question is whether his voice has run stale in Steel City, and some of the fan base believe it has. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin speaks with members of the media during a press conference, addressing team performance, player development, and expectations for the upcoming season. Others still support Tomlin, though. The results of the 2025 season will be a major attempt to shift the narrative one way or the other. However, Tomlin doesn't care what anyone thinks of him. He's just happy to be the one grinding. "You know, I don't care a whole lot about what people have to say," Tomlin said. "I don't. Like, respectfully, I don't. Some people talk, some people watch, some people do. I am glad I am a doer. I am glad I live in that world. I love the kitchen. I love competition. I love it when it's hot. I love the challenges that our business presents. Like, that is just the life I choose to live, and the things that come with it, man. I am okay with it." Steelers Mike Tomlin indirectly calls 2025 season Super Bowl or bust. The Steelers brought in 41-year-old quarterback Aaron Rodgers. The decision to do that has reportedly been Tomlin's. Many Steelers fans plan to hold him accountable for the results of the season, as they should, but Tomlin doesn't view it that way. It's Super Bowl or bust for him, because that's always been his approach. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin shakes hands with former New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers after a game as quarterback Russell Wilson looks on in the background. He prides himself on controlling what he can control and ignoring the rest. That's what he views the outside noise as, just noise. He knows the only thing that matters is winning in Pittsburgh, and he's focused on trying to do just that. Though the time is now, and it's running thin. Tomlin can say the correct things, but he knows his team needs to execute in the critical moments to end this drought. How many wins will the Steelers get in the 2025 NFL season?